Hello there, it's me back again, just with another short video. Now, I'm looking at this video now about, that Russian vids basically mirrored by the looks of it here. And it goes, 6 commercial airplane emergency landings that prove the Earth is flat. Now, I'm just going to take it on a whim here that this basically proves nothing. It proves nothing whatsoever. But like I said, I'm going to give it a go, and I'm going to go over a few things about this video that, seemingly that he is essentially making up his own flight paths to improve his points, to make the actual flight path seem more absurd, to strengthen his points. And, look at the people down here that are commenting on his videos, deep inside the rabbit hole. Because he is full of truth, that man. Okay, so let's continue. Let's just watch this video through and see these 6 flight paths.
This stuff here for a couple of weeks. There are 6 emergency landings that shows us that we live on a plane. We don't live on a sphere.
I very highly doubt it.
Okay, so I have here with me the Gleason's map, and I
Yeah, their favourite map.
have a inflatable globe. So we will talk about those flights. Okay, the first flight that I'm talking about, a lot of people have talked about these flights. I've seen many videos online from the Mail Online. This flight, okay, it's a flight from Taiwan to Los Angeles.
I might as well skip through little bits here, because otherwise you might as well just go and watch the video, but I'm just going to probably skip through little bits.
Okay, a lot of people have been saying this flight. So here are some of the pictures. You can see this online. Just go to the Mail Online or join
Okay,
me.
here we go.
So if she departed, that's why I have here this globe. She departed Taiwan. Okay, Taiwan right here. And she was flying to Los Angeles. Okay, it's the blue line. Okay, she was flying to Los Angeles. 6 hours into the flight, let's say 1:30, 1/3 of the journey, the water broke. Okay, so I'm dividing this distance in 3. Okay, it's 19 hours flight.
You haven't divided that by 3.
6 hours into the flight, they had to land. So the easiest way for her could have been actually Hawaii, right here in the middle. Okay, Hawaii. She could have flown to Japan.
Oops, sorry about that.
She could have, not she, the pilot could have flown back to Taiwan. You see a straight line, Taiwan right here, down to LA. So they made an emergency stop right here in Alaska. It only makes sense on a flat Earth map, not on a globe. Okay?
Well, let's have a look at this now then. I've got on here the actual flight path doesn't actually exist, but you can clearly tell from his little drawing that blue line is not a straight line. Okay, not in the slightest. So he's made his own path up there. Now, when you go on to the normal map, it looks curved, as like, all that kind of thing. Okay, but you put this onto a globe. Okay, it's a straight line. Okay, and look how close, and this could be anywhere, up here, there, you know what I mean. It's a straight line when you look down it. Straight line. Oops, Daisy, didn't mean to do that. Now, look how close he is to Alaska. Hawaii is all the way down here. Okay, now I'm just going to say, let's say on average the plane travelled, let's say the plane travelled 500 miles an hour. So he says, and 6 hours in, they had to diverge the plane to divert, I should say, sorry, to another airport. So let's just say, 3,000 miles they got. Okay, so from Taiwan, so let's just clear the distances here. So measure distance, it's 1,947 miles. So let's just say he got 3,000 miles in 6 hours. Yeah, see? That is not that far from Alaska. Not far at all. Okay? Not far at all. I mean, geez, let's just say he wanted to go back to Japan, turn around somehow, put his handbrakes on and go to Japan. That's about 1,400 miles. Okay? 1,400 miles. Let's go back to 3,000 miles. Let's go to Alaska. No, pretty much around about the same distance. Pretty much. But this time he doesn't have to turn around, waste time and turn back. So this time he just kept on a straight course and probably put his boot down to go faster. Okay? So this just shows me that he deliberately put this flight path down here. You know, down here to make it look like, oh Lord, they could have stopped in Hawaii, but you know, that's not the case. Okay, so that one's done.
You see a straight line? Let's talk about the second one. They went all the way to Alaska. Okay? They left Hong Kong to Los Angeles. They could have stopped right here in Hawaii. Instead, they went all the way to Alaska. It doesn't really make sense on the globe. Just like the Taiwan flight. Makes perfect sense on the flat Earth map. Hong Kong, LA, Alaska. Hong Kong, LA, Alaska. That's where they landed. Okay? Alright. We can have some more.
Okay. Well, look. Here's the Hong Kong to Los Angeles flight. Even on here, and this is a pretty straight line, go straight to the middle, Hawaii is all the way down here. That's miles away from that flight. It's actually almost, you know, only a little bit further to Alaska. But let's go on to the globe model, and there we go. There's Alaska. Extremely close. Hawaii is all the way down here. Again, this man is making up his own flight paths to strengthen his point. And he's betting that nobody else knows. Same as Russian vids when he posts that video. He's just betting on the chance, and he's guaranteeing that nobody else is going to look this up. People just go with it and just believe, as far as I'm concerned. You know, and look, might look curved a little bit there, but you point this thing that way, it's a straight flight. He is deliberately making all of his flights, you know, curved on his little...
Perfect sense, like the Taiwan flight.
Curved on his model and in a perfect straight line on his Gleason's map.
Makes perfect
just to improve his point. Okay, look how close he is to Alaska. Right there. You know, depending on where in the flight. Here maybe, you know, even here. It's not that far to Alaska. And like I said, it's en route. They don't have to turn back. It's en route. So then you can just find one airport in Alaska, take off, and both down you go. Okay, that's that one done.
sense on the flat Earth map. Hong Kong, okay, to Alaska. I mean, Qatar to the flight was from Chicago to Doha. Okay, from Chicago to Doha. All right, Chicago. Let's look at Chicago right here. Green line.
Again, look at the green line that he's drawn on.
Let's say they're flying straight to Doha, over the Atlantic.
That's not a straight line.
Okay. They could have stopped in Spain, Portugal, or North Africa, anywhere in North Africa, all the way here to Doha. Okay, this green line would be the route from this flight, Chicago to Doha. Moscow is right here. Okay?
So look at the distance between Moscow and his green line, which you can clearly tell is not a good line at all.
So,
He's deliberately fudging the truth here.
how could they have stopped in Moscow if they are flying from Chicago to Doha? Okay, Moscow is up here. Okay, why?
Well, I'll tell you why. This is the actual flight. Chicago to Doha. This is the line they have chosen, not that bloody green one that you decided to just basically pencil in. It's a straight line, straight flight. And if you want to say, well, you put it there just to make your point, but look, here is a polar flight from Doha to North America. And they pass over Greenland. And they pass over Greenland. So I know then from Qatar, and then this flight I think was going to Houston, Texas. There we go. Was going to Houston, Texas, which is a bit further down in America. So this was going from Doha to North America, and they pass over Greenland. Look back at my map. There's Greenland. He is putting his flight all the way down here and passing through Spain and North Africa. His flight goes all the way down here. I mean, let me just picture that for a moment. So measure that. So his flight path is doing that, essentially. It's a bit different, isn't it? So, I'm sorry, but if this how easy it is just to basically show people's mistakes from Flat Earth videos, what is the point? Oh look, there's a bit of an eye shape there, all-seeing eye, Illuminati confirmed. Boom. Sorry, that was really bad. But here, so yeah, passing through, Doha to Chicago over Greenland. This is the flight that proves that point. So they do these and they don't hide it from you. Okay, good. That's that one done. Delete these. Okay.
Doesn't make sense here.
Well, not the way you've drawn it. So there we go. So look at this next flight.
From San Francisco to Dubai, made an emergency landing at Moscow's Domodedovo airport after one of its passengers felt sick, a source at the airport told TASS on Sunday. Okay, so another flight from North America to the Middle East that made an emergency landing in Moscow. So let's look here. San Francisco, okay, this is the black line here. San Francisco, let's say...
Again, look at his line. It's not a straight line.
They flew over the Atlantic again. Right? They would have to fly over the Atlantic and then Spain, Italy, Turkey, and then Dubai. Okay? That's the route. Or if
No, that's your route.
they flew over the Pacific, they would have flown over China, all the way to Pacific, and San Francisco. Right? So, where's Moscow? Why stopping in Moscow? Okay, Moscow is up here. Okay, this circle here is Moscow. Right? Dubai, right here. Okay? Makes no sense. So,
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because the way you've drawn it on.
one more time, if we look here, San Francisco. Okay, get this closer. San Francisco. Alright, Dubai. Okay, this blue line right here. San Francisco, Dubai. Moscow. Alright?
See, now, I'd like to point out, this line here is going straight over Greenland, or straight over most of the North Pole, or some parts of the North Pole, over the top end of Greenland. Okay? So, here's the kicker.
And then in Moscow. Okay?
Now, even his line there, that little sticker, those lines are probably going through the outskirts of Moscow. So that's still a fair distance. But here's the kicker, right? Here's Dubai. Here's San Francisco. Going straight through the line that he's got. Let me go back here a second. That he's got here. Going through there. Same thing. So they don't hide this from you. Right? On the map. Straight line. Okay? Straight line. And here's the kicker. You know? Moscow is just down here. So obviously it's a main airport. So obviously it's one of their main airports. Moscow is just there. So like I said, the flight could be down a little bit. But then look, I found this Emirates flight. So you know, from Dubai to I'm not sure where this one's going again. To India. So you can tell that these flights, you know, subsequent change. So you know, it could be closer to Moscow, you know, depending on they're not always. Some flight paths might change, you know, due to certain things. Oh no, wrong one. So you know, there is now his line on his flat Earth map. I'd like to point out, he says he's got a sticker.
Right? They landed in Moscow.
See, his blue line's not actually anywhere near Moscow. It's actually the same distance as my blue line on this globe Earth map here. They don't make sense because of the way he's drawn them on. Now, let's just memorize. Where did he draw his San Francisco to Dubai
Atlantic
map?
And then
See, he's got it going underneath Greenland. But yet the flight path that he's drawn on goes straight line this way. Again, I can't stress this enough. This Gleason's map is essentially a top-down view of the globe, with the bottom part of the globe that you can't see stretched outwards. So the flight paths will be the same. Honestly, I don't understand why they keep on saying it's a flat Earth map when it is not. Okay, got a bit sidetracked there, but okay, let's go on to the next flight.
line right here. San Francisco, right. Moscow. Right? They landed in Moscow. Okay. Alright, we got 0-600 flying from Shanghai, China to Munich when she stopped breathing. Okay, so let's look here. We're flying from Shanghai to Munich. Okay, that's the red line right here. Okay.
Good. That's a slightly better line that you've done this time.
Shanghai. Okay, flying over China and Kazakhstan and Munich. Okay, Moscow is not that far, but if you look on a flat map, okay, that would be this red line right here. Shanghai, China, Munich, Moscow. Again, there's a sticker here, meaning the Moscow is right here.
Ooh, triangle, Illuminati confirmed. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Now, I'm going to say on this flat Earth map, it's got a straight line going across here, right? Right, ooh, get rid of that one. Now, globe Earth, Shanghai, to Munich, and where's Moscow? Passes straight over the top. How lovely is that? Again, he's got his line, and you know, his line makes it go down here somewhat. So, you know, down here through Kazakhstan. It's where he's drawing on these lines on his inflatable globe model is the problem. And people are just sucking it up. Again, they don't hide these flight paths from you. You know, flight paths necessarily aren't always a straight, perfect line. I mean, I've seen I've seen planes in the sky sometimes do fucking turns that will break a car in half. So they're not always perfect straight lines. But most of them, in terms of a thing, look, see, if it's a non-stop flight, here we are, non-stop flight, straight, nice straight line, like on his Gleason's map. This time passes straight over Moscow. He is putting his lines where he wants them.
Okay, Shanghai, Munich, Moscow, right above Moscow. But the London-bound PIA flights made emergency flights.
Let's go back.
PIA flights makes emergency landing in Moscow. This is from this website.
Shanghai
I'm not
to
familiar,
Munich.
never seen this down before. But the London-bound PIA flights made emergency landing in Moscow on Sunday after one of its passengers complained of severe chest pain. The PIA flights PK785 took off from Benazir Bhutto International Airport, Islamabad on Sunday afternoon. That was on March 15, 2015. Okay, March 15, 2015.
I don't know why the date matters that much, but hey.
Alright, so it departed from Islamabad to London. Alright, so let's find Islamabad right here. Pakistan, right here. Islamabad. So we follow this line to London. Okay, straight
Again, he's drawn on a curved line.
flight, right here. London, Islamabad.
Now, point out where that little body of water is now. That's going to become important later.
So he flew over Iran and Romania and Germany. Okay, Moscow is up here. All right, not that far. Okay, let's consider. Okay, although they were flying over many other countries, to divert to Moscow would be quite a distance for someone who is complaining of a severe chest pain. But again, if you look on the flat Earth map, we have here.
I would like to point out also that it's fine on his map from an earlier demonstration that it's actually nowhere near Moscow, but not good for the globe Earth. So it shows distances don't matter. Now this is a big distance here, okay? I'll point that out in a minute.
Then London, straight over Moscow.
Yeah, kind of straight over Moscow, just over the outskirts of Moscow, I think. Now, I'm going to
Okay.
go back to
Spain.
his...
Of a severe, quite a distance for someone who is River, okay?
So, look at this body of water where he's got that blue line going from Islamabad to London. Okay? So, London, right down there. Islamabad. My line goes up here. Across here, and there's Moscow. Now, on an earlier flight, I think it was from the Los Angeles to Dubai, his line was probably going through here, above here. So, see? Not that much. So, if his flight can diverge that distance from wherever to Moscow, I'm sure this can too. Because just because they're close to an airport doesn't mean they can or have to land on it. I mean, there's probably, busy air traffic, so they have to go this way. Or whatever, you know what I mean? Okay? But I'd like to point out his line. Look, see? His line has got it going through that body of water, and that's the Black Sea, and it goes through the tip of the Caspian Sea in this one. Okay? He's got his blue line so low here, it practically misses the Caspian Sea, right? And his blue line goes straight through the middle. Now, if I just check the distances from that, measure distance to where he's got his blue line, that's a distance of 500 miles. Okay, so clear distance. So measure distance from there to Moscow, 400 miles. So, he's off by quite some margin there. So, look, show again, Islamabad London. Over the top of the Black Sea, through the middle of the Black Sea. So instead of being like 800 to 900 miles distance, it's only about 400 miles. You know, just because these countries might have airports also doesn't mean that he can land on them. Some of these airports may be small and can't, you know, accommodate a plane of its size if it's like a 747 or something. Some of them might be busy. Some of them, might not allow it at the time. This airport probably had facilities available, and it all depends on where. So let's put it this way. For example, if he had his heart attack or chest pains around about here, that means then it's just whoop, up here to there. Now they could go this way, but it was a quick decision. Right, which airport can we go? Right, Moscow. You know, and it's all about air traffic control is quite complicated. They can't just go, ooh, we need help, let's land on this airport without asking, without saying a word to anybody in other planes. During this moment, there could have been a ridiculous amount of planes taking off and landing at that time. You know, Moscow is probably, I would imagine, a large enough airport to accommodate it. So again, I've just basically, this entire video just proves one point. That none of these prove that we live on a flat Earth map. Some of the flight paths, even I've suggested here, could be a little changed slightly from one distance to another. But I'm just proving a point. On his globe model here, he is deliberately putting flight paths in certain places to strengthen his point. And if somebody like deep inside the rabbit hole can't bloody figure this shit out, I mean, it just shows how much truth, you know, quote unquote truth, flows from that man's mouth. And Russian Vids, who we all know who is a sane and healthy human being, can't say that with a straight face, but you know what I mean. I mean, somebody like me, I'm a university student, for crying out loud. I can figure this shit out, and it only took me Google. Oh, but is Google a part of the conspiracy, are they? You know, and I showed you those YouTube videos showing that these flights do indeed go over certain places. So they don't hide these flights from you. He is deliberately putting flight paths, you know, where he damn well pleases. And, you know, it makes him look like he's onto a point here. And these people, the 1,399 people who like this thing, don't bother to even look it up themselves. They're just going with it, going through the motions and believing him. Which, to be honest with you, which is ironic, which is the same thing that flat earthers accuse us of doing when we just believe science. It's quite funny, isn't it? Okay. So I'm going to leave this video here. I think I've proved quite a fair couple of points here. And that's it. And I'll be back again soon with another video. Hopefully a bit shorter.